Hello, my beautiful sensitives. It is Tuesday, which means, where's my book? We are going to talk about how we are going to deal with our manifestation this month. It is coming a little bit a little bit late with new moon. However, as these are timeless readings, whenever you are checking in, you can check up on what needs to be checked up on. Mental, emotional, physical health. And right now, yes, it's going to be manifestation. So a lot of the time I will do a bit of a pre-ramble and then put a marker in where the actual reading starts for people that are not interested in that. However, I learned a very valuable lesson today, and that was the way that I felt when I was not grounded and my energetic boundaries were not set, and the way I feel now. I literally did like 3 or 4 meditations in a row until I was able to get up off the couch and do a sufficient amount of yoga. And sometimes sometimes when it comes to, I need an intervention, you're the best one to do the intervention. So if I can be part of your intervention today to say there are things that you cannot do unless you are feeling grounded and unless you feel like you have that lining of energetic protection. And when you are doing things like this, when you are doing any kind of work with other people, with the community, especially if it is health related, you need to hold space for yourself first before you can hold space for anyone else. So that's what I was doing this morning for a while. I held space for myself and I cleansed the heck out of things. And I did get myself some new sage. I've been using the, now it's slipped my, I've forgotten what this stick is called. Wow. It'll come back to me. But, because right now, apparently, you know what, sometimes that's how divine makes its message known, is the reason you can't remember the name of this sacred stick is because you're supposed to light sage. So no, you didn't make a mistake. You're just noticing that there's a specific message coming through. Oh, and just the smell of it. So yeah, there are tools. There is meditation. There's ways to clear your space with different organic compounds like sage. Oh, it smells so nice. There we go. Oh. Oh. That's so nice. Okay, so I am cleansing my decks. I am cleansing all of my materials. And I have already created a space for the divine, but I thank the divine for being here to ensure that I send clear messages to my collective. And I did want to, because we're doing manifestation and we're working with the moon, which is a feminine energy, which does not mean gender. I'm talking about energies. There's feminine energies and male energies, and they can both inhabit, both of those can inhabit us, and we have to keep them balanced, because the feminine tends to be the receiving, the male tends to be, the more active one. And again, that has nothing to do with gender. That's just elements about those energies. So where are you sitting right now? Do you need to pull more on your masculine side, or do you need to pull more on your feminine side? So because we're doing the moon, it occurred to me for a long time. I was raised in the United Church, but we weren't a religious family per se. Like we went to Christmas and Easter with the neighbors, and we didn't really talk about prayer and those kind of things until my dad died when I was 19. And that's when I started to ask questions, as you do when someone you love dies. You start having those questions for yourself. And I ended up seeing an ecumenical counselor who was in, the Christian faith. And I kind of described what our religious life was like as a family. And she said, yeah, that happens to a lot of people. Like, your parents, Green Tara, start delegating, goddess deck. That's why I'm bringing this up, is that we're going to be dealing with things like this, Lakshmi. And she said, yeah, lots of people, they kind of, they know about religion, but they're not actively involved in cultivating any kind of spiritual life of their own. And it's because my parents said, God doesn't take off marks for people who go skiing on the weekend instead of going to church. But the thing was, we never had an adult conversation about our personal beliefs. So I think her name was Lucy, actually. Anyways, she said that kind of leaves your generation in a hole a little bit. Like, your parents want to give you a choice about going to church, but then there's no other context. There's just kind of hearsay. So for a long time, I knew that there was something spiritual about my personality and that I needed, but I didn't know where to find it or how to ask for it. And I was uncomfortable with the idea of a male deity. And I think a lot of women are. It probably didn't help that I went to a girls' school for 13 years. But through working with Reiki, it kind of filled a spiritual hole for me, and it led me straight down the path to being able to work with whatever I wanted. And now I can say God and I can say goddess. They're different aspects of the same thing. They're different sides of the coin. So right now I am heavily focusing on goddess, and the divine male part of divinity is working gently with me. And I mean, there are stories that I could tell that maybe if it comes up again, I'll tell it. But it's about making you comfortable with it, and otherwise there's no meaning for you, right? And where does that leave you? So it leaves us with saluting the goddess and saying, goddess and goddesses, please come forward to help us create a strategy to manifest. Now, we were in the new moon, which, yes, is again all about astrology-wise. It's emotions, food, home, instinct, mother, breasts, nurturing, femininity, the past, roots, safety, and subconscious. And there's other meanings, which are memory. It's interesting. Goddess, witches or women. A lot of women who were punished for being the smartest or the most outspoken or the most talented or the most needed in the room. And there's something called the witch wound that is it's a collective wound which is basically saying through the centuries, women have developed this fear of being big, this fear of being themselves, this fear of displaying their gifts, displaying their intelligence. It's really quite scary. And if identifying with a female deity helps, then hopefully I would love to support you. What I did, and I actually dove into this after my wife passed away, I did a Walking Your Priestess Presence course with someone in the UK, and it was all about strong female archetypes and working with the goddess and working with goddess-based traditions and seeing the strength and the empowerment that could come from that. So accepting yourself just exactly as you are. And the phrase was, when we were working with it, the goddess gives you something to work with. The goddess gives you something possibly that you don't like about yourself, because otherwise, how would we learn to love ourselves exactly as we were if there wasn't something that challenged us? So I am going to put this video out, but I also, I'm a writer, and one of the ways that I have created self-love is to write poetry to different parts of my body. So I'm going to put that up today, and you're welcome to view it if you want a little body empowerment. So that's all I'll say about that. Now with the manifestation, and you can start right now, because technically we are in the waxing crescent, which is just 3.5 to 7 days after new moon, where you're basically exploring the same things. So what you want to do is, it's about planting seeds. And if the new moon is about roots, you've got to plant the seeds. And then you can't just go digging them up half an hour later. You have to plant the seeds, and then you have to make a commitment to caring for the needs of that plant by watering it, by, putting it in the sun. So also, whenever you start to manifest again, it's a clean slate. And it's about tuning into your higher self, into the goddess, into, whatever it is that you resonate. Ask for signs. Am I doing this right? I mean, you can't do it wrong, but is there something I could do that could make this even better? Is there something significant? And I've learned, whatever you work with, if you ask for signs, signs will be given, because we have free will, and we don't get somebody, coming down here and tromping all over, our life if we don't say, hey, I want you to show up. I would like some help. And it's really, really important to do that, because the divine wants to work with us. The divine doesn't just push us around. He's saying, or she is saying, I'm here. My office hours are forever. I never close. Dial me up, So, okay, yes. So what you want to do is you want to write your manifestations as if they have already happened. So thank you, divine, or thank you, goddess, for the windfall that I needed. Thank you, goddess, for the new position at work that I've been wanting. It's the law of attraction. It's the law of assumption. And it's a way that we can display gratitude for something that hasn't showed up yet. But the whole point of manifestation is that we want it to, and we are willing it to. So what you want to do is write down the things you want to manifest, and then you want to read them out loud every day. And if you can draw them like in a visual form, like what would it look like when you get that windfall? What spa would you go to? Where would you travel? Write something that you can visualize and then feel it in your body. Feel the excitement of, oh, I just got this, and this is what I'm going to do with it, and this is exactly how I'm going to feel when this happens. And you are attracting blessings when you are grateful for the blessings that you already have, and when you are expressing gratitude. Because gratitude just brings in, I need water, which reminds me of something. Gratitude just brings in more gratitude. So when we had that lunar eclipse, I made some moon water. I'm just going to add a little to my drink and let the power of that power my manifestations, and maybe yours too. So, in the waxing crescent, you're still doing the same thing. You're exploring your dreams. You're moving forward with faith, having courage about things. And I love, and this is all from Yasmin Boland's Moonology. She says the moon is moving from invisible to full power. And when you are empowering yourself, that's what happens. Like 0 to hero kind of thing. We are starting and we are concocting, we are in the empty cauldron, if you want, a witch analogy. Things are in vitro. They're gestating. So we want to read the wishes aloud. We want to visualize. We want to set intentions. And the most important thing, stay with that vision. And then the next phase of the moon is 7 to 10 days after the new moon. We move into the first quarter, but not yet. Next phase of the moon is coming up rather quickly. This is me being organized, not. So, if you read this today, then these are the things that are applying to what you are manifesting. And before you go on to doing the steps to the first quarter moon, which I will put out on Thursday, take that time to kind of refine what you're doing, and let's ask the goddess what she can help us with. Okay, so we have 2 cards. Dry in here. Okay, what else? Whoop! Oh. Wow. I'll tell you about that one in a second. The goddess is good. Oh. Okay. Seek healing. And that's exactly what you need to be doing right now. You need to focus on yourself. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you eating things that your body is liking or not liking? And do you need to make adjustments? Do you need some self-care rituals in there? So salt and soda bath, with essential oils. Like, what can you do to enjoy being in your body? And, if you need to, hang out on the couch for an hour and maybe 2 hours, doing meditation and nodding off and just being. And I love the way that this is so cyclical, because healing is something, it doesn't just happen once. It happens over and over and over and over and over, because this is the job of taking care of our bodies. It's our body also has always office hours. You always have the opportunity to take care of your body. and accept responsibility. Yeah, for your body, but also for your manifestations. So if you want to do this, you've got to put your intention into it. It's almost like look yourself in the mirror and say, what do I want? What do I want? Full moon, forgiveness. You ask for forgiveness, you're asking too much. I have sheltered my heart in a place you can't touch. Don't believe when you tell me your love is real, 'cause you don't know much about heaven, boy, if you have to hurt to feel. That's, I'll put a link to that. That's Forgiveness by Sarah McLachlan, a fellow Canadian. And the reason that I gasped is because, oh my God, is because the poem that I already taped that I'm going to be putting up is titled Forgiveness. That is what we call a big-ass synchronicity. It means this is what you were supposed to be doing. You needed to listen. Shout out to Amy Jones. You needed to listen to that person when she suggested you do what you do, which is start reading my work. Start reaching out to people via my work, here, because I read it to her and she said, like, you lifted something out of me. So if my work can do that for you, then God bless. And I'm glad. So if that resonates with you, if you want to listen to me reading Forgiveness, a poem for my belly, you know what to do. And because I've never gotten this card before, I wanted to read it. And this is a silly contents because I never know. There's full moon and then there's forgiveness. Yeah, it's full moon that you look up, but not forgiveness. 46. Try to confuse me. Wow, that blows me away. Oh God, and this is exactly what Amy said to me, is you're being too hard on yourself. You need to be more forgiving of someone. Or maybe it's you that needs forgiveness. Either way, what you need to know when you draw this card is whatever you want can come your way, but you have to move through forgiveness first. Resentment causes energetic blockages. Maybe you need to forgive a partner or parent, and once you do, you'll magically release something that is currently blocking your way forward. And again, I'll fall back on my saying, it's no good drinking poison waiting for someone else to die. Sorry, I have gallows humor encoded in me. Full moon is perfect for emotional releases. It's not the full moon yet, but if you need an emotional release now, do it. As all your emotions rise to the surface, all the better for you to face up to them. Forgiving someone doesn't mean what happened is okay, but it does mean you're ready to move on. Amen. Explore these ideas in relation to whatever you're asking about, or take them as general guidance. The situation you're asking about will be healed for all once you've let go of the rancor and the bitterness. Rancor. There are no guarantees as to the outcome, but forgiveness will be a step in the right direction, and either way you'll feel better. Yeah, it does. Because how are you supposed to be manifesting and saying all these wonderful, juicy affirmations if you're going over this shoulder and la 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 over that shoulder? You know what I mean? So, additional meanings. Don't get too crazy. Release resistance. It's time to move on. This is the peak of your situation, and breathe through the dramas. Life hardly gets any crazier than it does at a supercharged full moon. Get out under the moonbeams and soak it up, but remember to breathe through any emotional explosions. So you may just need to put up a picture of the full moon and meditate on it. Or a candle, whatever works for you. Like if you need to, listen to a song or watch a movie that's going to make you bawl your face off, that's a good release. And then the last one is protection. And what was I talking about at the very beginning is I needed to figure out the shape of my energetic boundaries around me. And it changes. It's whatever resonates with me at the moment that I need. For a while it was a ballroom floating in space where I could see the stars. And now it's a pyramid where, everything is leaving that needs to leave right through my crown chakra. But it could be a lot of things. All right, so now because we are calling upon the goddess, I'm going to see which goddesses want to step forward to deliver some messages to my beautiful collective. Let's see. Whoop. Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene and Mary, as in Jesus' mom, they are very special energies. Very beautiful energies. Love yourself, others, in every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. And she's got, I think maybe it's a candle. Yeah, because I'm sure people light candles for Mary Magdalene. And again, the poem that I did is about, finding unconditional love for myself. The goddess gives you something to work with. Ooh. Mary's looking at me. She's laughing. I'm gonna be crazy. What do we have there? Ooh, Iseult, undying love. So we have unconditional love, undying love. The love you have shared is eternal, regardless of the situation. Yeah, so love is love. And sometimes love can be love with the wrong person. Love can be love in relationships that have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And love is... I never noticed that. And love is the most important relationship that you can have is a relationship with yourself. So that's what makes it truly unending, undying. And I never noticed before that Iseult has a garment on that's a rainbow. And that is like a theme for this channel. 'Cause there's always been a rainbow, whoop, drifting over your head. Mm-hmm. Oh, and another shout out to Amy. She was saying you should sing more because singing, and I didn't realize, when you sing or when you hum, she told me today, you're actually engaging the vagus nerve. So that is a self-soothing thing for the body. It's getting your nervous system. So I sing to heal myself, but I also sing in Reiki treatments to heal other people. So when I am channeling like this, I'm singing for you. So just close your eyes, and if there's a song that you really like, I'm going to put a link to it. 'Cause there's always been a rainbow. Oh, beautiful! Hathor. She is the Egyptian version of Mary. Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and the ability to give to others. And that's exactly what the Christian Mary is about saying you're not filling your own cup. You have to balance giving and receiving. After my wife died, I went to Egypt. And this is after I had started working with the priestess on the priestess course. And I was in Luxor. And my wife had gone to Luxor and had been to the museum that I was in. It was one of the only places she got to travel before she died. And there was this little offshoot of the museum. It was all white and just full of statues on pedestals. And I stood in front of Mary and I broke. I broke like a freaking dam. Because she was exactly, like, I have a very special relationship with Mary that I've developed over the years. And so I think that's a mourning dove. I'll have to check. Thank you, Mary. You're special to me too. So yeah, there was nobody else in that part of the museum. And I just cried and cried and cried my face off and cried again. And I pulled it together. And the moment I pulled it together and shook it off, that's when people came back into that part of the museum and I was okay. So Mary Hathor was literally holding space for me to grieve. And I tell that story just to say, when you invite these beautiful energies into your life, they can support you in crazy ways. Crazy. Because that is a real story. Oh, and then we also have Sarasvati, which I believe is Hindu. And it is express yourself through creative activities. So, if you have this big buildup of emotion, one of the best ways is to say it with words. Just like I wrote the poem To My Belly. And when you write memoir, when you write poetry, you have to go to the wound. The witch wound, the human wound, the whatever you want to call it, and suss out all the emotions and let them rise to the top. Because if you push them down, they're just going to spring back up harder. So take the time to express yourself and notice there's only one swan. There's not two. So this is the time for self-love. What am I at? I'm only at half an hour. If throw in the comments, what kind of readings do you like? I put the shorts on. So for people who like small ones, they can listen to shorts. But I like to do deeply involved long readings like this, because look how many synchronicities happened. Look how many things happened just in the space of half an hour while I was doing this. It's magic. It's magic. And there are things here for you if you are here. So I'm just going to end this with some messages directly from Spirit and thank her for a beautiful, supportive, and lovely, love-filled message. I got off track. There be one. Ooh, I like that one. Okay. I do like it symmetrical most of the times. So we'll go for 3 more and end it there. Whoop! There be 2. Oh, that's my elbow. My body is weird, but I love it. Ooh, what are you doing? You're flipping over and you're hiding. You're being cheeky with me. Well, very cheeky. I'm taking that one. I'm putting like the other 8 back. All right. Never allow yourself to be taken for granted. It is better to remove yourself from the situation or remove the situation from you than to be treated less than you deserve. You are precious. You are worthy. You are. And if you don't believe that, something's happening to make you not believe that. And that's what needs to change. Wow, we have a theme. Don't allow anyone to abuse your power or take it away from you. Remember, you will be treated how you allow others to treat you. Show them that you value yourself far too much to settle for anything less than you deserve. And then we have on the other side of that, go back to the heart of who you truly are. There you will find peace. A good mantra is, today I choose peace over fear, or peace over loneliness, or peace over anger. You know, look at your life in its entirety. Acknowledge any old wounds. I think there is a core wound meditation in my list of meditations if you're interested in that. And then release them. Use what they taught you as added strength. Keep moving forward with a renewed sense of confidence. And instead of pushing yourself so hard, stop. Drop and roll. Just kidding. Stop, breathe, and reevaluate. You are doing enough, even if it doesn't feel like it. Don't wear yourself out to the point of exhaustion. It is not worth it. Balance your time more wisely. Whew. I'm not exhausted. I'm learning. All right, well, this was an absolute pleasure. So if there were things that you resonated with during this reading, please let me know, because it's kind of like throwing things out into the void. I love getting comments back. If there are particular questions that you have, and if you would like a personal reading, you just have to get hold of me at energyhealingoracle555@gmail.com, and I am at your service for personal readings, personal Reiki treatments, distance Reiki treatments. And remember that there are songs to listen to that I'm going to put a link to. There are, and there's that poem to listen to if you would like. I will put that out today as well. All right, take care of yourself, everyone, and let me know if I can be of any assistance. And most of all, make space for yourself today to do something wonderful. All right, take care. Bye.